welcome back to another full circle episode. Today we are up in Northumberland and we're going to try first probably of many lure sessions for the year. Not really expecting much. It's been cold for the past few weeks really. There's a bit of a stiff northeasterly blowing before, but it's died right off now and it's actually quite a nice evening. I don't know if you can hear that, you can hear the birds tweeting in the background, so I'm going to give it a go. Not the best time in terms of the tide's starting to ebb now, but we'll give it a crack for a couple hours into dusk and see if there's any coalies, possibly a pollock knocking around. I have brought a bit of a secret weapon in the form of a couple of fresh peeler crabs, so I might just stick a bit of a drop shot or free line rig down the side, see if I can pick up a little wrasse or anything, something like that. So we'll give it a go, we'll see if we can catch something. Quickly talk you through the gear I'm using for this type of fishing. I've got an 8'3", 5 to 24 gram. This is a tail walk salty shake, 8'3" lure rod. Can be this is actually a bass rod, but can be any sort of spinning rod. The end gear, I've just got a 20 gram silver spinner. That's probably all of £1.50's worth. For this type of fishing, coalies, pollock, you don't need anything remotely expensive. It's heavy ground out there, you are going to lose gear, so you don't need expensive lures for this sort of fishing. Bass fishing, different kettle of fish. Coalies, pollock, they'll take, as long as it's silver like that and they're there, they'll take. And I've fished this mark for probably 20 years. And in that time, fishing gear has evolved massively. Rods, reels, braid obviously being the main revolution. So the gear has evolved massively, but the one thing that hasn't evolved in 20 years is the fish. So little silver lure, cheap and cheerful, as long as you fish it close to the bottom, because that's where the fish are. Not all the time, but most of the time. That's all you want. I've got a 4000 size fixed spool. That happens to be a Shimano Renium. I don't think you can, I'm not sure if you can get these anymore. Again, the reel itself, gear's so good these days, you don't have to pay for anything expensive. Same with the rod. I mean, rods these days, even 70 quid will get you a nice rod for this sort of stuff. So you don't need to spend a lot of money. This is 36 pound spider wire. It's about, I think it's 0.15 or 1/8. It's borderline in terms of thickness. Any heavier and you'll struggle to cast a lighter lure. You can obviously go for a heavier lure, 40-60 gram. Personally, I like to go as light as I can. I don't go down to like 12 and 15 pound braid though. I don't like going that light. Gary's got a fish. Gary has got a fish. Nice coalie. Well done. What was that on?
That was just on a very basic, simple silver spinner.
Yeah, that's just what I was saying. Nothing expensive.
Nothing expensive. The cheapest you could get. I think they're £1 each. I've changed the hooks for a bit better hook, obviously, but that's it. So yeah,
spot on.
Nice little
well done.
Yep.
So where was I before Gary and his fish rudely interrupted me waffling on about tackle? So basically, cheap lure, main things, I think, or make sure you've got the right sort of braid so you can get plenty of distance, because the more ground you can cover, the more chance you'll have to catch fish. I like to use, it's not essential, personally I like to use about, what's that, 2.5, 3 feet of leader. That's tied with an FG knot. You don't need it, but I like to do that for 2 reasons. There are some jagged rocks, tide now, but further down towards low water there's a lot of barnacles, and if you're playing a fish, the fish will dive in and it will grate your line across those barnacles, and if you've got straight braid on, it'll just ping off. So I like to use, that's just 40 pound mono, it's not fancy fluorocarbon, anything like that. That enables you, gives you a bit of abrasion resistance next to those barnacles. But also, if you do happen to get a better fish that you don't want to pull in with the tip of your rod, you can get hold of that mono and it's not going to dig into your hands like braid would. So that's all the theory, let's put it to the test. Taking a little bit of a gamble here because I'm trying to cast along the face of that cliff, because that's where I found the fish to be in the past. Gary's just had one in the open water there, but I have found that if you can get tight into that cliff, that's where a lot of the fish tend to be hiding if they're just chasing bait. Ooh, I've just had a hit there, that was close. That would have been good for the camera. Definitely something out of go there. So just keep winding. No, missed it. One thing I like to do with me lures is take the little trebles off. It makes unhooking fish a lot easier. It's a lot safer on your hands if you do get a bigger fish that's thrashing around. And it means you've got less chance of losing gear on the bottom, because you're chucking into really, really heavy ground here. So I like to just replace it with a little circle or even a little J hook, and it massively reduces the chances of getting fast caught up on the bottom. I don't think it makes much difference in terms of fish hookups, to be honest. I think it's just the same. If a fish gets its mouth fully around that hook, which anything over, you know, half a pound it's likely to do, it's well worth doing that, in my opinion. I've found it does massively reduce your tackle losses. And if you miss a fish, well, you miss a fish. Chances are there's more there anyway. Well, I've just seen from about 500-600 yards out a couple of, I think they're dolphins, I'm not sure. I'm going to see if I can get the camera and zoom in and hopefully show you. I'm not sure what it'll be like, but we'll give it a shot. It's not going to do the fishing much good, a couple of dolphins coming in, but it's always nice to see anyway.
Simple fish.
That would have been good losing the camera. Feel too bad actually.
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Coley. That was taken just on that little circle hook.
Very nice.
Replaced it with.
Very nice.
Oops. Straight out. The humble northeast Coley. The cornerstone of every kid's fishing upbringing. We'll get them back.
Absolutely. But nice fishing surroundings to get them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, certainly doesn't feel like May.
No, it doesn't. It feels more like late March, but there's fish biting anyway, so that's the main thing. Bit better?
Gate crash. David's not tying lesson, so there's another little Coley. Nice little fish.
Nice, that's not a bad size, that one. And you were saying that didn't give you any fight?
None whatsoever. Strange. Very, very strange. Really.
Away. Nice one.
Yep.
Well done. So, into another fish here that my gear hadn't even hit on the bottom there. It was just straight on the drop. Let's see if I can... Yep, he's still on. Feels a little bit better than the last one. It's given us a good couple of lunges. And that was just on the drop there, my gear hadn't even hit the bottom. Well, yeah, it's not bad, is it? Slightly better coley. Again, right in that top hook, that is a better fish actually. Give us a nice whack. We lure straight down. I'm just going to try. Lovely condition coley, and you can tell with these coleys they're a lot. Sometimes people get them confused with pollock. Some of the telltale signs, the bottom jaw, I mean that jaw is a little bit longer, but with the pollock the bottom jaw protrudes out a lot more. And if I can get hold of it, Gary's in again, you can see there's a real green tint on that. With the pollock it's a lot much more of a gold colour. So we'll get him back, we'll see what Gary's got as well.
Oh, it's off!
Oh, you're joking!
That was a better fish, that.
What's this?
Never mind. Like.
Do you want to talk us through how you're fishing that lure, Gary?
So basically, it's quite a heavy lure, so I'm letting it almost sink to the bottom, or probably will be sinking to the bottom.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like random, just a quick draw, steady draw, pauses, a bit snatchy, just mixing it up, and then they just seem to just hitting it really.
Just watch that bow line. I'm casting it close to the face of that cliff. The wind's trying to take it, so I've got to push my rod out, keep my hand on the spool to stop any more coming out, and just let the depth sink and take the bow with it away from the cliff. And then I'm just waiting for that little telltale nod back on the rod when I know it's on the bottom. This place used to be really, really heavy ground. You used to lose a lot of gear, but Gary and I were just talking then. I'm not sure if Storm Arwen, which was a huge northerly, the back end of 2021, so about 5 months ago, 5-6 months ago. I don't know if it's pushed a lot of sand from Embleton Bay down this way towards this cliff, because unless I've just been very lucky, I haven't felt any sign of losing any gear yet. Famous last words. Right, I think that's on the bottom there. Just winding into it, giving it one initial pull, and then on this retrieve, there's various ways you can retrieve them. You can sink and draw, or you can just get your lure close to the bottom and then just wind it at a steady, slowish pace. And even just the hook and a little bit of movement that you're imparting through the reel and the braid, that'll be enough to induce a take if there's anything there. There's another school of thought as well at this time of year, sort of I suppose we're in mid-spring, but it's still cold. The water's still very cold, and I'm guessing there's not a great abundance of bait fish, well, sand eels in this part of the country predominantly. So I think there's probably not a lot of really fast action going on in the water. So the theory being that whatever the fish are chasing, they're probably used to seeing bait that's a little bit slower moving, small coalies, maybe small pollock. So if you wind the lure a little bit slower, it might just kind of imitate the kind of bait fish that the fish are going for at this time of year. Theory anyway. Oh, definitely just had a couple of nibbles there. Something's definitely following that lure. Something just nibbling away at that there. I felt a couple of bangs twice. Oh, it's chasing it. Yep, I've got him. He's He's only small. But that just proves the point that I was making before. If you're getting a knock, keep reeling, keep winding, and you chase it. I think he's come right up. He's probably only 10 foot under the surface. And this is also where your longer stretch of mono or fluoro comes in, because the tide's dropped now and that's just gone into those barnacles down there. So yeah, look at that, absolute monster. He's not that much bigger than the lure, but again, little circle hook, pops straight out. Whoops, back he goes. Another essential piece of equipment that's not going to cost you a lot is a cloth. Because I tell you, anybody that's caught coalies before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They leave it like a weird sort of, got a distinct smell about them, so essential piece of kit for spinning for coalies and any other fish, but particularly coalies. Oh yeah, carries into the fish.
It's
a better one.
No, it did not stump that.
Next cast, very next cast, straight back into another one.
Bang the wheel, eh?
Coming down. Oh yeah, that is a better one. Oh, is it off? Oh well. Better one. Right. It's getting on now. Fingers are quite cold. But just where all this tide line, all this tide movement's going behind us, I'm just going to have a couple of casts. Just in case there's anything lurking in this little turbulent area around here. So a couple more casts, then I'm going to head home after that. Right, probably on the bottom there now. Just one. Full Mars and guillemots around now at this time of year. It's lovely seeing the place come to life. No, well, that's it. I think I'm gonna pack up and get home. Well, that's the first lure session of the year. I think I've had about half a dozen fish.
Yeah, it's been alright, yeah. Slow start, feared the worst, very cold, but then they seem to come on when the tide turns and the tide started to ebb. So yeah, very pleased, we're both getting into some fish.
Nice way around a bank holiday weekend off. So as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do, it's appreciated. See you on the next one.
Thank you very much, cheers.